Okay, I'm back. So part 2, healing autism or helping autism, whatever you want to say, how I made my son go from severe autism down to pretty much mild, minus the conversational part. So these are the supplements that we use. I'm going to go over it. Usually I don't tell people exactly what supplements we use because I don't want anybody following my son's specific protocol. Again, I'm not a doctor. I have no degree in medicine. This is purely what doctors recommended for my son specifically, based on lots of testing, blood tests, urine tests, stool tests, hair tests, every test you can imagine. So, I'm telling people this because I've had a lot of people asking me. So maybe it'll give people more ideas on what they can bring to their doctor and say, hey, can we try this? Can we try that? Yeah, so let's just get into it. I have a big supplement bag. So here's one thing that we do. It's BPC. It's a liquid. This stuff actually tastes really good. It's for cognitive function. So I don't know if you could see it. So here's one thing. This is really good for ammonia, to bring ammonia down in the body and specifically the brain. We've seen a big difference with this. So if you have high ammonia, this is a good supplement to talk to your doctor about, your child's doctor about. This is methylfolate. If your child or you have methylation issues and they recommend MB12 injections, it won't really work without this. The first doctor we went to didn't tell us to take this. That's why we saw no results, in my opinion. And now our doctor told us to take this, and we've seen results. And like my son is like a mess because this can cause like overstimulation if you don't do the shots with it. So I wouldn't recommend doing this alone unless, depending on testing. But if you're going to do MB12, do this. If you're going to do this, do the MB12, in my opinion. L-carnitine. Ew, it's sticky. This is good for cognitive function. We do a B complex. Definitely give this in the morning because it gives energy. If you know anything about B vitamins, it gives you energy if your child needs it. Oh, oxy powder. So for a little while, my son suffered with really, really bad constipation. This is good for adults too. It makes you regular. Regularizes is that a word? But it helps the intestine tract and stool and digestive system and all that. Omega-3 fish oil, good for the brain, really good for the brain. So, okay, this is a probiotic. Some kids can handle it, some can't. My son, I still have the bottle, but my son couldn't handle it. It was too strong for him. So we had to switch to a different probiotic. You have to switch up your probiotics, though, because your body will get used to them. So he couldn't handle this. Where's the one that we use now? I might have left it in the other room. But we use a different one now called Mega Sporadic, whatever you call it, Mega Probiotics. But a lot of, there's been a lot of studies done, and a lot of autistic kids have zero growth of this, and this is really important for the gut. My son, unfortunately, after testing, we found out had zero growth of this, but he just can't handle it right now. I don't want to say right now because we haven't gone back to this yet, but we're going to soon in the next couple weeks. Zinc's really important. This is actually good for opening up taste buds. So if you have like a really picky eater, they might be low in zinc. When we started giving zinc, he started wanting to try more foods. What else do I have here? CoQ10, good for cognition. It's good. Now, these are all pills, but my son doesn't take the pills. He's 6, so I actually have to open up all the caps and mix it and give it to him in a syringe, or sometimes applesauce. Okay, broccoli sprouts. So there hasn't been too many studies, but there has been a couple studies that broccoli sprouts actually help the brain. I don't remember how, but I remember that I came across it because one time when my son was really sick, with a fever, he was like a different kid. Like, yeah, he was sick, but he was more aware. He started, his vocabulary started opening up. I'm like, this kid is sick. He was calmer, less hyperactivity. I was like, what is going on? So that led me to broccoli sprouts, because broccoli sprouts actually mimic like a fever, like in the brain, but they don't cause a fever, but it just helps somehow. I can't remember exactly how, but it helps. Let's see here. Oh, vitamin C, because immune system. I also really like elderberry syrup. I give that to him too. Oh, I have more zinc in here. Oh, a good digestive enzyme is always good, especially if your child suffers from constipation or diarrhea or stuff like that. You definitely want a good digestive enzyme, but you have to give that with food. So you just sprinkle it on their food. Grapefruit seed extract. It's good for yeast overgrowth in the gut. If you're going to do a yeast overgrowth protocol, definitely talk to your doctor about it, because again, that's something that your child might get used to. So you have to switch it up to keep the gut guessing and to keep the bacteria and the yeast down. So we do, for his gut, we do that. Olive leaf, this is actually an antiviral. So that's good, but you can't be on these for like more than a week at a time. You have to switch them up. Where's the other one? This is good for detoxing the gut. And obviously oregano leaf. This is really strong, but this is like the best one by far for killing yeast and bacteria in the gut. You can only do that for a couple days. Let's see, vitamin E. I'm not telling you guys when I give these to my son, how much I give them to my son, because it's like I said, I'm sharing what we do, but we don't always like do all these. We switch them up or whatever, but this is what we do, but catering to my son's testing. That's why testing is so important. Neuromag. That's good. This one, I'll tell you that we specifically give this one in the morning because this one doesn't cause you to be tired. The other magnesium we do is magnesium malate, and that one makes you more tired, so we give that one at night. I will tell you that. We do this. I'm not going to go over everyone specifically, but because you guys, you got to do your own research. Acumen, we actually just restarted that one. Definitely you want to give herbs. Ashwagandha, that's good. I know this is a lot, but vitamin A, we did the vitamin A protocol, it's a specific protocol. Definitely do that under a doctor's supervision because vitamin A, if given too much, can cause toxicity. Now after the protocol, we did see some good cognitive changes. Now we just give 1 drop a day. Vitamin D. If you're going to give vitamin D, you have to give vitamin K. We used to give them separately, but we got one connected. And what's this? I don't always give this. I just have this in here, for inflammation, turmeric. And then we did give, this is empty, but we did give this holistic remedy. I will say that my son responds more to biomedical than holistic. We've done holistic stuff a couple times, and he always does really good, but then he kind of reverts back. So like he's a responder, but then once we stop it, he stops. But I hope, now I gotta put all this crap away. But so I hope you guys learned something. Like I said, my son was very severe. I don't want to say very severe, but he was pretty severe autistic. And with the help and guidance of doctors, and also don't rely on just doctors. Like my son's holistic and biomedical doctors have been wrong before. You have to do your own research. There's also a really good Facebook group that I would recommend. That was like my holy grail when I first started all of this. Crap, I can't remember the name of it right now. Oh, it's called like biomedical healing. You know what? I want to get the specific name of the group, so I'll put it in my description. So I hope this helped. I know that when your child is diagnosed with autism, you pretty much feel helpless. That's how I felt. and you're confused and you're upset and you start blaming yourself and all this stuff. I've been there. I went through all of that. I still have my days. But just know that there is, not every child is a responder. My son is considered a hard nut to crack because he has so much going on in his body. So don't give up. You know, I wanted to give up so many times, and there was a couple times where I just said fuck it and I stopped for a little while, and I saw the huge difference in him, like regression after I stopped. But we've been nonstop with it now. You know, it was at first like I was like on and off. Yeah, so I hope that this helped. If you have any questions or comments, or maybe you know something that I don't, you know, obviously I don't know everything. I will add real quick before I say goodbye that the next thing that we want to do is HBOT. It's hyperbaric oxygen tank. And, you know, many people have had really good results with it. It like replenishes the brain cells, like damaged brain cells. But you know, some people just do it just to do it, but we like to do everything properly. So if you have high yeast overgrowth, you're not supposed to do it because it can make it worse. But my son, we feel that my son's at a point now where we can do it. So in the next couple months, we're going to do that. I was supposed to do it last year, but his yeast was just too high. I actually did a fundraiser for it. So I want to say thank you to those who donated, and it's still going to go towards HBOT. But yeah, so we will be doing HBOT hopefully soon, because I really want to get into. Oh, I forgot a supplement. I just remembered. So this is a little controversial. It worked for my son. TRS spray. There's other zeolites. There are other zeolites out there that I'm going to look into that I heard are better than this. But with my son, I will tell you with the TRS, it's expensive, but all this stuff is. We started him slow because it's a heavy detox. And he didn't know like any of his body parts or whatever. Within like a week or two, he knew every single body part. And he's, you know, he still does to this day. We started TRS, I would say October 2018, I want to say, like consistently. And the results were amazing. I feel like we've pretty much gotten everything out of it that we needed for the time being. So we're not as consistent with it anymore because he was up to full dosage and we weren't really seeing any more results after about a year. But it's a really good detox. But again, you have to look, you know, talk to your doctor about it, because these detoxes, you can't just do them because you could strip the good with the bad. And you have to be replenishing the good and keep track of it and do proper testing and consistent testing every couple months to make sure that, okay, you might be getting rid of aluminum in the body, but you also might be stripping this vitamin or mineral or, you know, so again, don't do all of this yourself. Once you get a feel for everything and you've been doing it for a while, then you might want to try a supplement or two like on your own. But again, we run everything by the doctor first. And then we also do a lot of our own research. So I, you know, highly recommend doing your own research and researching all of this. Again, the Facebook group, I can't remember the name. I'm going to look real quick before I post and put it in the description. If anybody wants to comment, either a question or maybe recommend something to me that I don't know, please do so. I hope this helped, and I wish you lots of luck and lots of healing. Have a good night.